So welcome to WPKN. I think this is your first visit here.
It's my first visit to the new WPKN.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it nice?
Oh, it's wonderful, yeah.
So much better. And I read just yesterday or the day before that the old Atlantis in D.C.
Yes.
Which is, I think, where you guys kind of started, right?
Yes, I used to live on the 7th floor, yeah.
Yeah, I heard that it's being reopened as a music venue by the guy from the 930 Club.
Yeah. Seth,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, what's his last name? Hurwitz?
Hurwitz, yeah, Seth Hurwitz.
Seth Hurwitz. And I thought did you know about that?
I did, yeah. It's not a closely held secret in Washington, but I talked to Seth about that, and he said it would probably be 3 or 4 months before they actually open their doors.
Right.
So, but what he's doing is he's replicating the old club in a new location, which I think is really cool.
Oh, the old 930 or the old Atlantis?
The old 930 Club.
Oh, wow. It's going to be L-shaped?
I don't know about that.
I went there, and it was shaped like an L, so if you were at one end of the L, you couldn't see the band.
Yeah, that was a wild club in those days.
So your friend Doug Spiro is with us today. Doug, tell me a little bit about those Urban Verb shows, the early ones at the. Oh yeah, I got to turn on Doug's mic. There you go.
Oh well, first I have to say, if they're replicating the old Atlantis 930 Club, I hope they don't replicate the smell. Because that was a unique aspect, I guess, of all those types of places, but. No, the 930 Club was great, and the Nicki's band, the Urban Verbs, they were just the best. I mean, you just heard it. They have a big sound. It's hard to be contained in a little place.
Yes.
But, yeah, we saw every time. It was like an event when they played. It really was. They were the greatest.
Yeah. I went down, Tina and I went down on the train once to see your performance with the B-52s at the Corcoran School of Art.
Yeah,
and that was a heck of a night.
It was.
I think you all did 2 sets.
We both bands did 2 sets. Yeah,
and I think we stayed for both. It was packed.
Yeah, that's a 300-seat theater, and we had 450 people in there.
You always had more people than it held.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was a good show. And then they did a show at the Pension Building, which was just the best show ever. It was a building big enough for their sound.
The Pension Building was built back in the 1870s, to house offices, on its exterior walls for processing veterans' pensions. And that's why, hence the Pension Building. And the American Society of Architects took it over and sort of refurbished the thing. The interesting thing about it was it was about 10 stories tall, and all the offices were on the exterior walls. So there was this huge central space with
these giant columns.
Like a huge column of space right above where we set up the stage. And we found out at one point that there was a 7-second decay on our songs. So it was fairly psychedelic.
Well, as an audience member at that gig, it was great. It was like I was talking to my friends, from way back then, and we still talk about that show. It was incredible.
Nice. Well, now we have a whole new thing for Nicki Butane, which is, I'm holding the album, the vinyl 12-inch right here, Flameproof Mascara. Tell me a little bit about how you got this together and who's on it. And
Sure. I, like a lot of people, got re-singled at some point in time, and it was a really torturous event for me, and I had been making some guitar notes, and I didn't want some music notes, lyric notes, and I didn't want all of the songs to be, negative downbeat songs.
Right.
And so I wanted to get together with musicians who I knew who could achieve the type of sound that I was looking for, which was a new wave edge sound. And when I'd been in Washington, D.C. with the Verbs, I'd known Marshall Keith from the Slicky Boys and also Abad Behram from a band called Raz. And the two of them were just really unique instrumentalists. They're both guitarists, but that's about as far as they have anything in common. And I called Marshall Keith one afternoon because I knew Marshall relatively well, and I said, "Hey, Marshall, this is Nicki. I'm thinking about putting a new band together to record an album. Are you free at the moment?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm free." And I said, "Well, have you ever worked with Abad Behram?" And he said, "No, but I've always wanted to." And that was all I needed. I called Abad Behram next and said, "Abad, this is Nicki. Are you interested in perhaps working on an album with me? And oh, by the way, Marshall Keith has always expressed an interest." And he said, "Oh, I've always wanted to play with Marshall." So I had two guys who had, over the course of 25 years, never played with each other. And now all of a sudden, here was an opportunity for them to collaborate. And I am just thrilled with the way the songs turned out and the mix turned out. And it's I think a very unique sounding album, at least to my ear. And we tried for that, and I think we achieved that. And
good. Yeah, I agree.
Not all the songs are you ran my pickup truck over my dog, that sort of songs. They're a little more contemporary in their sentiment, I guess. And I'm just really pleased with the way the whole thing turned out.
Excellent. I see that Danny Frankel played some drums on it too.
He did, yes. And if we go on tour, we're going to get Danny to come out with us.
Oh, cool.
That's still being discussed, but I love Danny's drums. I mean, from the Urban Verbs, he was just the spark plug, and he really knows how to get inside of a song and accentuate it in nice ways. And I'd love to go out on the road with him again.
I would love to see that. Yeah, he's a character, Danny.
He is,
as I recall.
Yep.
He's one of my Facebook friends, and every once in a while he makes a little comment.
Yeah.
Nice guys.
Yeah.
So let's listen to the opening track from the album, which is called "Beat by God."
This song is written. The lyrics are written by a friend of mine, K.D. Lay, and I heard a version of it that he did with another band, and I asked him if I could borrow the lyrics, and he said, "Yeah, sure, go right ahead." And it's become everyone's favorite song on the album. It's the opening cut, but it's also everyone's favorite of all the songs that are there.
Super.
So I wanted to give a shout out to Kevin.
Yeah. Here it is.
strong. We had devil's ears. We couldn't do no wrong. All the songs we sung, all the strings we strung, all the bells we rung, all the songs we sung, and the beat by God, and the beat by God, and the beat by God, and the beat goes on. We swam for miles. We walked for miles. Then we rested and we sang in that rockin' style. You put a spell on me when we were young. Put a spell on me when we were young. Are you learning now? I can't really tell. As you mop my brow with your smell, you put a spell on me when we were young. Put a spell on me when we were young. All the songs we sung, all the strings we strung, all the bells we rung, all the songs we sung, and the beat by God, and the beat by God, and the beat by God, and the beat goes on. 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 And the beat goes on.
Cool, baby.
Yeah, that holds up.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's like it's got a real ambiance, kind of like I don't know what to say, kind of like a
Seance.
seance in a junkyard.